Hey, it's Dr. Brenda, founder of the Gutsy Women Club and the Dream Plan Save Do program, full-time RVer traveling the country with my 3 cats. Today I've got a review of Fort Stevens State Park in Hammond, Oregon. Closest big town you might have heard of is Astoria, which is right over the bridge. And we're giving it a 4 campfire review. The park is most famous for the Shipwreck. So this is the Peter Iredale Shipwreck, which ran ashore in the early 1900s. So let's take a look at how I've reviewed it all. So the campsite, it's a 4 out of 5, and it's a level. I have the table, the fire pit, everything's there. Except there are no barriers between me and the neighbors. And I'm going to tell you what, this is one of the loudest state parks I've ever been in. It's a huge park. It's got 170 full hookup sites. It has over 300 electric and water. I was in the electric and water. 6 tent sites, 15 yurts, 11 cabins. It's one of the biggest parks I was at. It's also one of the noisiest, and there's not I was in the end loop. I'm going to show you a little bit. So I've got a map here. I don't even know if I'm going to get this on the screen for you guys. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of sites, a lot of campsites here. It is divided into the north and the south loops. I was in loop N, as in Nancy. It's in the south loop. Lots and lots of mosquitoes in that loop. It seemed to be a swamp behind me, so my recommendation is if you can get into the north loop, that might be a little bit better for you. But yeah, the campsite, there was nothing wrong with it. But it was just so noisy, no barriers. I had music to the side of me. I had kids in the street on their bikes at 6:15 a.m. Quiet hours? Are there really any quiet hours? I don't know. It was a long week. So it gets a 4 out of 5. Restrooms were fine. The restrooms up by the yurts were really super. Those are newer ones. The other restrooms, I'll take you into that because it's like, you need directions on how to work the shower, okay? So, but they're fine. They're clean. Warm water, showers, amenities, and trails. So, here's the thing. There are great biking trails. Lots and lots of biking trails. There's a wonderful hiking trail around the lake. And lots of trails. But if you want connectivity, if you want a cell service, you want Wi-Fi, you're not going to get it at this park. I have both Verizon and AT&T to do work online. I spent a good chunk of the week at Starbucks downloading and uploading, and I just really couldn't use my phone, couldn't use the computer at this site. So if you include that, the amenities and trails, if that's important to you, you probably shouldn't even stay here. But in terms of the outdoor activity, some pretty good stuff. Safety, I felt safe. Lots of park rangers around, and that was not an issue for me, and it was clean. There's one area where you basically have to drive to get rid of your trash and to get into the recycling. So, all right, so now I'm going to show you around the park, and hang on to the end of it because you're going to see some elk. Lots and lots of elk in this park. So hope you enjoy it. And again, that's Fort Stevens State Park in Hammond, Oregon, 4 campfire review. Hey, please subscribe below. You guys take care now. When you follow the sign for the campground, first of all, on your right, you're going to find the dump station. Now, I am here on a Wednesday morning. I can tell you there was a lineup at the dump station blocking the road. So, large campground, and I just saw the one dump station. So, that could be a little bit of a problem for you, but you're going to stop at the registration office. Bring your license plate number with you. You can check in. They will give you a tag for your car. I've also was able to pre-register However, I did not have a printer, so I could not just put that on my car. So this gives you some information. Also the rates. Let me tell you what the rates are right now. It's electric is $35 a night. Full hookup is $38. 22. Primitive hiking $11. Yurts $54. Pet friendly yurts $64. Deluxe cabins $98. Pet friendly deluxe cabins $108. Okay, so this is where you're going to get your tag and register. Lots, cute little Jeep out front. Really great parking, so you won't have a problem parking your RV. Lots of long slots, so if you are here and it's after hours, I'm sure you can just park and come here in the morning, which is what these folks are doing. So yep, just stop here and register. And this is my campsite. I'm in the N loop, N as in Nancy 9 to be exact. And I've got water and power. So I've got 30 amp service. I'm pretty sure they have 50 amp as well. And the length of the site, I think, is about over 50 feet. It's very generously sized. Good pavement, very even. My front tires are down, which is always makes me happy. Large picnic table. Also a fire pit with a grill. Now there is plenty of space here for me to put my catio up, but maybe you can tell from the weather that it's kind of drizzly. It's been overcast all week, will be all week, and it's cold. Temps in the 60s. So not worth putting my catio up during this stay, but it is a very nice site. I have some space between me and the neighbors. There's not any vegetation as a barrier, but it's been pretty good. This is a very active campground, especially in terms of kid activity. So I've seen a lot of scooters and kids on bicycles. It can be a little bit noisy, and especially in the afternoon. This is the loop into N, and it gets a little bit, there's a bit of traffic. So here you go. This is what the sites look like, at least in the N section. And no complaints. Tip. Yeah, I think there's like a little swamp by me. Mosquito repellent. Bring mosquito repellent. There are tons of mosquitoes, especially in this part of the park. So there's a tip. I'm at the restrooms and shower facilities by the Yurt Village, and I'll just show you, you have your own shower room. Okay, so here you go. Nice bench. Everything's tile. You've got a skylight up there, and a counter, a bench, hooks, and you get to lock the door. Okay, maybe that's the best part. And this is the women's restroom in the same facility. I had to wait a little while because they were cleaning it, so the floor's still wet, everything is clean. 3 regular stalls, 4 sinks. Hi guys, how you doing? The handicap stall, and of course it gets an A for cleanliness because they just cleaned it. So very nice facilities. You've got windows, lights, tiling, brick wall. I'm back at the restrooms. This one is in the M loop, at M as in Mary, and it is not as nice as the one by the Yurts. It's the Oregon State Park model of showers. So you've got 3 showers. Here's the little warning sign. You get directions on how to turn it on and off, okay? Anytime you need directions to turn the shower on or off means that there's a little bit of a problem. Turn on, push in and up. To turn off, push in and down. Why is it confusing? Because this is all you get, folks. Hey ladies, this is it. You got the shower head up here, and all you have is this button that you're pressing in. There is no real way to press up or down. What I ended up doing was holding it in, and then it seemed to be able to latch sort of up so the shower stayed on. Pressed it in, came back down, but yep, that's the deal with the showers. So a lot of state parks now have yurts, and I will see one or two yurts here and there. This has Yurt Village. So it's early in the morning. People are getting up, getting out. I am sure everything is occupied, so I can't really show you much other than there's a doggy sitting by the yurt. This one looks a little vacant, so I'm gonna just hustle up here to see if I can get a closer view. Maybe they've moved out. Got a roll-up window, a heat lamp, picnic table, fire pit, really cute little deck, little porch. I suspect that they fill up as quickly as the reservations open. So there is your tip. Get those reservations in early. I see water spigots here and there, so I think you need to come out to use the water. Probably the restrooms are right here. There's also a place to dispose of your gray water, your sink disposal. So there you go, Yurt Village. It's pretty awesome. In the K-Loop, you're gonna find some really neat cabins. Just gonna walk up a little bit so you can see. This one looks unoccupied, so perhaps I can get you a better view. Looks like they come with a little grill, fire pit, picnic table, really cute porch. This one backs to the woods. So if you'd like to take a break from the tent camping, or you've got visitors, the cabins might be the way to go. This loop seems to be filled with the cabins. There is a trash and recycle center. If you head down towards the yurts, that's where it is. No awnings, no chairs, no large objects. So I'm gonna open it up, toss the trash in, and done. But there's no trash in the loops, so you're gonna have to drive your trash and your recycling over to this center. So there's a little tip for you. No big deal, but kind of unusual to have just one main center for such a large park. And there is an amphitheater in the park. I'm at the J Loop. In fact, the loops up here look like there's a lot more trees and maybe some more space and perhaps some few mosquitoes. So at the northern sites might be a little bit more attractive. There's a big screen I can see behind here. I have been here for a week and have not seen any events posted, so I don't think that this is exactly active here, but yeah, it's a good size screen, but nothing happening here as far as I can tell. I'm here in mid-July 2021. This is Coffinberry Lake, so it's a day use area. I see people down here fishing. There is a 2-mile loop around the lake. So if you manage to get some decent weather, that's a really good activity. This is a day use area, so you've got picnickers and there are restrooms up here. So it's again another option if you want to hang out by the lake, you can. I like to hike, so one night I decided I'd like to walk around the lake. Challenge was finding the trailhead. I am in the cabin loop in Loop K. Now my RV is in Loop N, so I walked to the back of the K loop. I'm at K12, so this isn't really marked very well. You have a sign here, but it feels like you're going to walk onto their property. But this is the beginning of the lake loop. I think it's about a 2-mile loop around, and this is where I am headed. So again, if you're looking for a nice little walk and you're trying to find the lake loop from the campground, head to the cabins, Loop K, and look for cabin K12. Good luck. Here's what this park is famous for. It's the Peter Iredale Shipwreck. So there is parking. You can get right down towards the beach and walk to the shipwreck. Quite honestly, it is smaller than I thought. This was an English sailing ship that was grounded in the early 1900s, and so you can still see its steel hull here on the beach. So you walk around. I think there's 4-wheel driving on the beach if you've got 4-wheel drive, but this is your shipwreck view. Now I'm at the part of the park which is called Battery Russell. So let's check it out. I'm checking it out for the first time with you. So let's see what we have. Here's a very interesting little side note of history that I did not know about. This particular fort was in operations from 1904 to 1944. And this location is the site of the only attack on the United States, the continental United States, I think since the 1800s. A Japanese submarine had gotten all the way here. Okay, I'm not sure what we're looking at, folks. And since there's no signage, still don't know. Open pits and drop-offs, watch your children. Let's peek up here. Okay, so back to the submarine. The submarine made it all the way to the Oregon and Washington coast. It emerged and fired on Fort Stevens. So apparently there is some Japanese artillery still here. And according to the information I looked up on Google, there was a sort of political turmoil at the fort at the time between the Federals and the locals. And so no one at the fort ever fired back on that Japanese sub. It's submerged and presumably made its way back to Japan. Okay. Definitely some open pits, folks. Definitely watch your step. Now, if you're like me, you're saying, Brenda, go up those steps. Okay, I heard you. So I'm guessing this is where the artillery maybe snuck out, the cannons. I don't see an ocean. Perhaps those trees were not there before. They look like they've been there for a while. So don't ask me about the logistics if you come and visit and you're into World War II history. Maybe you can fill me in on the facts. The one thing that this is great park, but the signage is not all that great. I've had to Google about the Shipwreck, and we'll also had to Google about this. So there you go. This is called Battery Russell. There's ample parking, so you can park and hike your way up here to the old fort area. Okay, hope you enjoyed that little tour. I have followed the signs that led me to Columbia River, and I have gone by different jetties, A, B, C, and D. Let's see if we can show you on a map where I'm at. So right here, I'm at parking lot D. And you can see now, you can't get an RV down here. No turnaround for RVs, so you want to be down here with another vehicle. So this is where we were, Battery Russell. And so let's check this out. It's a wildlife viewing area. On my way over here, I stopped and took a photo of a herd of elk moving over the grassland. So maybe we'll be lucky and see some elk from here too. So lots and lots of bicycle trails. I think this, you've got the road down here, so you'd have to ride your bike on the road. Wildlife viewing bunker. And this is where I spotted the elk, but it's quite a few miles to get here, so that'll give you a sense of how big this park is. Good morning. Did you see anything interesting?
Well, not a lot of birds. Probably the most interesting thing we saw were the elk, which we saw from the road.
Oh yeah, we saw them. I saw it from the road too. Yeah.
Cool. Have a good one.
You
Have
too.
a good day.
Okay, so this is it. Perhaps you'll get some sunshine and dry weather when you visit. So the elk were more visible by the side as I drove in. Looks like it's low tide. Okay, time to head in. I'm getting wet. Pay attention for elk in this campground. I'm by the registration visitor center, and there've been elk herd in the campground area. You can see them over here. We've got a big guy over there by the sign, and a smaller one right in front of me. And like all wildlife, you don't want to get too close. Just kind of want to let them do what they're going to do. They're always looking at me. And there goes the other one. So they do travel in herds. Where you see one, you're probably going to find two. Where you find two, you're probably going to pretty soon see a whole herd of a dozen or more. Just let you watch them for a little while. So be careful of the elk.